right, so welcome to 2021 ultralightweight backpacking gear of the year review here at this YouTube channel. And I want to start off the video just by introducing you to this shelter. This is a shelter that was designed by Andrew Skirka in 2017, but now it is sold as a tarp by Sierra Designs, and it's no longer designed by Andrew Skirka. This is kind of a tweaked version of the old tarp, and it is called the Sierra Designs High Route 2 tarp. It costs less than 200 bucks. I want to say it costs like 150. It actually costs a little bit more than 150. But what you get as a result is a tarp, or a shelter that sets up with two trekking poles that's very similar in real estate and comfort to what you would get for $800 or for $600 from a different company. As you can see, it's towering above me, okay? It only weighs 1 pound. Yeah, and it's not as fancy as some of the other options. Obviously, an $800 tent is going to be fancier than a $150 tent. But this material is very light. It's also quiet in the rain and quiet in the wind in comparison to fancier materials like DCF. It's super easy to set up. Again, it only weighs 1 pound. It can be set up so that it's really, really tall and spacious, or it can be set up so that the walls are flush with the ground to keep out the bugs. Now, that is pretty effective if you set up the tarp so that the walls of the shelter are touching the ground to keep out the mosquitoes. It keeps out most of the bugs. Some bugs do get in, so in order to set it up, I got these poles from Z-Packs, and I love them. You know, these poles from Z-Packs, for me, it was a really happy purchase. I really like these poles. They're great. So, you know, this is my shelter right here. It's the Sierra Designs High Route 2 tarp. To be honest with you, I'm pretty happy with it. You know, I had always wanted to buy a DCF shelter, but I don't know why I would now that I got this one. I mean, it's so much cheaper and so easy to use, and I'm so used to cowboy camping. It's so versatile not having the floor. I'm able to do so much in there. I could cook in here. I'm able to get out of the sun. I'm able to get out of the rain or the wind. It's just too easy. I just love it. It's just awesome. Woohoo! All right, so Merino wool technical t-shirts. This is an upgrade that I made for 2021. I always used polyester spandex technical t-shirts, but I did upgrade to all Merino for 2021, and I did use store credit with all of the different companies that I go to. All the different backcountry outfitters that I bought from, I did it all with store credit. Back in 2005, I kind of realized that Patagucci and Mountain Hardwear were my favorite companies, so I've got a ton of store credit with both of those companies. And all of the shirts that I'm about to show you, I bought all of them with store credit. But this one is from Arc'teryx, and this is really my go-to shirt. This is the shirt that I use for all of my hikes for the 2021 hiker season. Every single morning that I put on this shirt, it smelled new. So this shirt has got an incredible antimicrobial property to the Merino, where the wool itself, the Merino wool, it's able to fight off the bacteria that's in the shirt. And the shirt just ends up smelling new and clean every single morning you put it on. And that's just an awesome feature of the shirt. As far as my pajamas that I go to sleep in, I also would carry this hoodie. I've always wanted the Patagucci Capilene Air hybrid hoodie, which costs 150 bucks, but I found this one from Mountain Hardwear for like 25 bucks, and it's pretty much, it isn't the same thing, but it's very similar, but at a fraction of the price. And this is what I carry in my bag every night. I take off my Merino wool shirt and I put on the pajamas. The Merino wool is kind of scratchy, it's kind of tough. It's also got these shoulder pads on it, at least the Arc'teryx version does, and that cuts down on the wear and tear from the shoulder straps on your backpack. But I also got a few other Merino wool shirts. Patagucci sent me an email saying that they would give me a ton of store credit in exchange for all of my Capilene t-shirts, because those Capilene t-shirts were found to only be 49.5% UPF sunscreen protection by European standards. So in the United States, they're 50 UPF, but in Europe they're not. So they gave me like 200 bucks for 4 Capilene t-shirts. Ended up switching them out for the Merino Capilene Hybrid graphic tee. So this is it in blue. All right, here it is again in green. This is the Merino Capilene Hybrid Graphic Tee. I found that the green is slightly cooler than the blue. The blue is for cold days and the green is for hot days. Also, the sizing on Patagucci is a little bit funny. I sized all the way up to the extra large, and I found that it's a little long, but if I get the extra large, it's a little short. So with Patagucci, they've got some funny things going on with their sizing. Overall, the Patagucci Capilene Merino Hybrid Graphic Tee is the most ultra lightweight of all of the Merino shirts that I tried out. It's just simply the lightest, if you're looking for the lightest. So this is the Mountain Hardwear Merino Technical T-shirt. If you're looking for a really soft 100% merino wool shirt that you can sleep in and hike in, so if you want to hike all day, sweat in it, and then sleep in it, and then hike all the next day and sleep in it again, and also have it be a layering piece that you layer underneath other gear, underneath your backpack. This is probably the tee that you want to get. This is the Mountain Hardwear version of the merino wool t-shirt. All right, so DCF packs. A lot of people think that DCF packs are just nonsense, that there's no reason for it. You might as well use Robic because Robic is breathable, or you might as well use X-Pack because X-Pack is tougher and it doesn't shrink. I would say no. You know, I use the DCF hybrid packs. They're waterproof, but they're also burly, and they're the bare minimum as far as weight of what you can get away with a pack. So they weigh a fraction of X-Pack, and they weigh about the same as Robic, but they're waterproof. What it is it's Cordura on the outside, a very, very small amount, and then DCF, Dyneema composite fabric, on the inside, also a really, really small amount. And the big issue with it is that it kind of shrinky dinks, but as it shrinky dinks, it gets burlier as it shrinky dinks. So when you first get one of these packs, you might be able to fit 300 ping pong balls into it. And then after it kind of shrinky dinks, after about 6 months, you might find that you're only able to fit 250 ping pong balls into it. And basically the reason for that is it's plastic, and it's a really, really minimalistic type of plastic that's super, super tough. And after a while, it just kind of shrinky dinks upon itself, but it gets tougher and burlier as it shrinky dinks. So, you know, like with this pack here, I got some holes in the DCF. Well, the DCF was new, but now that I've had this pack for about a year, the Cordura is tougher because it's kind of shrunken, so it's a little bit burlier, and I probably wouldn't have gotten those holes in it now, you know, now that it's later. The pack just gets tougher over time. So I've got this little guy right here, and this one has gotten really, really tough over time. It's kind of shrunken down into what kind of feels like plastic. It literally is kind of plasticky feeling. Now, what's different about this bullet-shaped 20-liter pack made out of DCF hybrid is that it does wet out right here on the roll top. But I think the reason for that is the surface area. The surface area is so small that a lot of wear and tear is inflicted into a small space. With this bigger 35-liter pack, the roll top has a larger surface area, and so you're inflicting less wear and tear onto each individual square inch of the material. So as I roll this up, you know, it's not inflicting as much wear and tear onto the roll top because the roll top is wider, you know? And so this roll top isn't going to wet out. Rain isn't going to get through it as easily as it does on the 20-liter bullet pack, you know? But basically, another big issue with these packs, these ultra lightweight frameless packs from cottage companies that you find online, is that they're not all the same. They do use similar materials, but the architecture is different on the different packs, and also the bells and whistles that you get are a huge variable with the pack. So like with Mountain Laurel Designs, they've got this exceptional architecture on the main pocket and also on the shoulder straps. But MLD, they're not real big on bells and whistles. The exterior pockets and the shoulder strap pockets that you get are actually a little bit more compelling on some of the other pack companies. So like with Light AF, they've got some really interesting bells and whistles on here. They've got this cool front pocket, which I like a lot. It's really light. They've got these side pockets that are now light as F. The F stands for F word. So the side pockets are cut a little short because it's the concept of the pack is that it's light as F, you know? The side pockets could be a little bit taller. They work about, you know, 90% of the time. Your water bottles aren't going to fall out of here, but sometimes your water bottles could fall out of there because it's a little bit shallow. But most of the time it does work. They've also got these really nice light as F shoulder strap pockets. They've got some nice, really interesting bells and whistles on here. A really nice Y strap at the top. So, you know, I like light as F. I've got two light as F frameless packs here. They're both in DCF hybrid. This company, Light AF, they have started making their packs out of Robic. I did not choose to get a Robic pack from them. I do stick with the DCF. Now, one improvement that they've made to their DCF, to their Robic packs, is that they ditched the Lycra bottom pocket. So the Lycra bottom pocket, this is kind of like the biggest question mark on the pack, because this material itself hasn't really been proven in the field, you know? I mean, it isn't a really tough material. It can get holes in it pretty easy. It really does make a difference as far as what you decide to put in here. This pocket is really for poo, you know? If you don't want to leave your TP out in the backcountry, if you want to be polite and pack your poops out, or if you have a dog with you and you want to pick up those dog poops and put them somewhere, this literally is like a poo pocket. It's like a trash can. If you put hard objects in here, like a power bank, etc., when you put this down on the rocks, it'll get holes in it. And it does one other thing, it hangs onto water. So you would think that Lycra would be quick drying. It isn't. This material stays wet for a ridiculously long period of time. If you do a river crossing, your shoes will literally get dry before your Lycra. So your butt will be getting wet from your Lycra bottom pocket because it stays wet for about an hour. The same thing is true with Lycra shorts. If you choose to wear a Lycra short liner, Lycra shorts stay wet for like an hour. You know, your shoes will be dry and your Lycra still wet. So, you know, Lycra is really kind of a funny material that, you know, it's used for backcountry gear, but it hasn't really been proven over time to work in the backcountry, and it sort of doesn't. It more or less is just a trash can. So this bottom Lycra pocket here, really it's just for trash. And that's kind of like one of the funniest parts of the pack. And it is a bell and whistle. It is a piece of kit that was ditched on their future models. They stopped putting this pocket on their packs.